What is up, ladies and germs? Welcome back for another episode of We Draft Paper. Now, this is our first FNM draft into this new set of Lorwyn Eclipsed. So, very exciting stuff here. I kind of kept my promise of what I'm going to try to be stuffing as much drafts as I can of what archetype into the set, and we're just trying to do big bad things, and it doesn't matter how many colors to get there. This is a deck of a proponent of that, so a lot of fun. I'm MTG Flux. If you guys like this TV series or like what we do here, please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of the video. All right, let's get in here. All right, pack one, pick one. Give me something to believe in. We're trying with the zoom in camera as well. See how this goes. I like doing these videos and kind of learn how to try to do them better as well throughout, like, just the little things. Like, I'm focusing on the focus of this and stuff like that. Like, meh. Endblaze Epiphany. So this basically is a 2-for-1. Basically, you get to destroy a thing with an X burn spell to a creature, and then you get to exile up to whatever on top of your library and get to cast that until next turn. So not bad. I do like the double mana dork for the elementals. I'm just trying to get a good idea for these uncommons and seeing if there's a lane I want to be. But the Flame Braider is really, really good. I like the elementals a lot, and their archetype does some pretty big bad things. So yeah, I feel fine going into that space early. This pack wasn't great for us. We get the Glisten Baron and really not much else for us. I mean, I could take a removal spell in my one color that I am already, but I think I like the Vivid stuff mixed with the elemental stuff. I think that has a lot of play. So Puka's Eye I actually do like as well because it helps Vivid mechanics and so on, and if you're just kind of in 5-color stuff, it ends up just playing pretty well. Because you get if you have a color or a permanent of every color, you get to tap 3 in it and draw a card, which isn't nothing. I was able to draw a couple cards off it the last time I draft this set, so not bad, not bad. Eclipsed Flamekin. It's kind of what I'm wanting to do anyways. You got a nice removal spell there, though, but I kind of want to lay my stamp on elementals if I can continue to get into that lane. So, yeah. Feeling okay about the start. Feeling okay. I am wanting to look for big curve toppers of elementals and stuff like that, because that's what these decks really, really do want to do. All right. Into our fourth pick here. There's some elves going around, so that's not nothing. Nice elemental pickup here for us. The Kith Keeper, which is a 3/3, and it has for 7, but it has Vivid. And whenever this creature enters, create X 1/1 Kitkin tokens, and then it also has an ability you can tap 3 untapped creatures to give this creature +3/+0 and flying until end of turn. Which, if you have like 6 other creatures out, you can double pump as well and get in for 9. Like, it's just a really nice card. Flamecaster's pretty good. Crib Swap, I've been going back and forth. We have Giant Fall, which is a cheap interaction. Kind of what I'm looking for. I know I'm going to be having a lot of creatures in this Elementals deck. So, as far as interaction, this is a nice place to be. Evolving Wilds isn't nothing. I would have liked more fixing as well, but Fixing was kind of my problem, but I had a lot of different variants of ways to fix my mana. Like the flame braider or whatever, my pack one, pick one. Nice goblin. Ooh, we got a nice little one drop here. Elemental, and as addition to this card, you can behold an elemental or pay 2. And then it basically just gives creatures trample, and then if you activate this for a third time, you get 4, you float 4 red. So has some weird play to it, so that's not nothing. So very red in my spot so far. So I feel good about that. That kind of tells me like goblins are also probably going to come through. But yeah, the Rhyme Speaker is really, really good. It's on cast. If you cast a card with a mana value 4 or greater, you get to draw a card. So I am looking for the 2 and red and a blue for the 3/3 flyer that doubles triggers off of 4 elementals. So that is like kind of premium of what I'm looking for. And I do end up seeing one, but I ended up taking an ambitious pick instead of it, which it had its benefits and it wasn't nothing, but I think this deck just wanted that flyer so much more than anything. Because we had a lot of things going on as far as like Vivid and Elementals that ended up being in this deck. This was actually during like basically a snowpocalypse in my area, but it was right before the weather got real bad, like just a couple hours before. But there were still like 18 people that came and drafted. It was nice. So we had 2 pods and 9. And yeah, it was cool. All right. Burning Curiosity is not a card that I really favor. It's hard. I mean, like, I think I do end up taking it in this spot, but it's more or less like not good card advantage. But noticing in this pack, I am seeing a lot of white cards and Kitkin at that. But Kitkin is not where I want to be. I would rather not hedge towards that direction unless I'm greatly incentivized. Like if I pack one, pick one, a Johnny, maybe. Like things like that. Lofty Dreams is a nice wheel. It's just a powerful card. Put this on one of your big elementals, +2/+2, and give it flying, which is incredibly dangerous, and on top of being able to draw a card. It also has Convoke, so pretty nice. Gameplay was a lot of fun. We get the Puka's Eye back basically for free. And yeah, games went really good. I ended up going 2-1. I beat 2 really strong decks. My pods decks were like pretty stacked. Game 1, I went up against another Elementals deck, and I'm just gonna say that like I'm splashing 5 colors. He was straight Izzet, and I just kind of went over the top on him, but he did have better cards than I did. Like his deck, if you put our decks next to each other, his definitely looked better than I did. So, but I was able to get him in 3, which was good. Felt good about that. Last pick crib swap. People are so down on that. Like I understand like the drawback, but I just like the idea of an instant speed, easily splashed removal spell to take care of anything. There's a lot of big things going on in this format, and I think being able to take care of them is a big deal. And then as we get into pack 2, I'm just looking for the same thing. I'm pretty sure this is the pick, and maybe pack 3, I'm not sure. But yeah, let's see what we open here. Flaring Cinder is not a bad choice. Marrow's not us. Eclipsed Elf not us. So here it is. So we have the Mutable Explorer or my Twin Flame Travelers. If I were to do this over again, I would take the Twin Flame Travelers. The Mutable Explorer is like, it's a nice card. I'm like, well, I don't mind being in Teamer at all. Like, if as I grow my different colors, and I also have some white cards too that I could potentially play in the spot. But I was like, well, this helps Vivid. This, kind of just adds more elemental things going on. And who knows, maybe I'll wield a 3/3. Didn't happen. However, like, I didn't see any more. Like, they were taken very highly. And shame on me. Like, before this draft, I was discussing that card with a lot of other people, and they were like, oh, wow. Like, I kind of gassed it up, so everyone would just soak that card right up. But Bloom Blossom Bind, good removal. Like, it does what it needs to do. For the sake of, and then after I won round 1, I went up against round 2, which was a Merfolk deck, and it was a really good tempo-based Merfolk deck. And they were really, really close games as well, but I was able to kind of cheese him out of a couple wins, and he had some unfavorable attacks that were questionable that kind of gave me the opportunity. I just, in spots like, I don't think you just attack there, but I'll take it, that's fine. But, which helps because I think his deck was pretty good in that sense, but he was playing it more like aggressive when he needs to be just wrecking my turns. See what we get. So the Unwelcome Sprite, it's like really good 2-drop, but it does nothing synergistic for my deck, which was like rough. I'm like, I don't know what to take here. So I ended up taking, I was like, maybe I am just leaning into Teamer. So I'll take the green Disenchant 1/2 for 3 and see what happens. So we get the second guy, all in 3. So I'm feeling really good. Another Unwelcome Sprite, which is really, really nice. But if I would have took the first one, I think I actually see one more, so I saw 3 total. But just a really good 2-drop. Like, you kidding me? Super good. But I don't take neither, and I'm pretty sure they both wheel, which is crazy. I feel like that card's just really, really good. Yeah, these close zoom in, it's hard to keep things focused. Can you consider that for next videos? I think I just take the rare here. May have some applications, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. I think it's quite a stinker rare, so. It was one of 2 of rares that I drafted tonight. And one I didn't play at all, and the other one was the Mutable Explorer, which was on a splash. So it definitely didn't feel too great, but such is life. Take a little protection spell. I ended up not playing it, but at this point of the draft, I am still considering myself in, like, I could still be Teamer hard. We'll see how this goes. Counterspell. Rhyme Chill is pretty good. So it bounces 2 things and draws a card, but it's vivid, so it costs less for each color creature or color permanent you control. So, I mean, you can cast it for 2, which is pretty darn good. And then my last match, I went up. This guy's deck was the absolute nuts. He had 2 Marlins, which is the Sultai 4/5 flyer elf fairy. So he is just way deep into elves and stuff like that. See, another Unwelcome Sprite. It's crazy. But I do know I need to prioritize on some 2-drops, so we take advantage here. But so his elf deck was insane. He also had the Simic Incarnation, which just destroys me. Because it has a disenchant and a draw spell to it, so it's just like a super feels bad. But especially me having some like nice enchantments in this deck too. But yeah, but he did that. But he just had great synergy. Like his deck was really really good. I was able to get him on a game. I ended up, so I lost the first game. Go into the second game, and I had like an aggressive approach to everything. And I just went super wide, and he just wasn't able to interact with any of my board, but his blocks were still good. And he was also playing lifelink. There's a lot of combat math involved in that game. But like I'm full swinging out, and then I'm playing the. You'll see him in the last pack, but playing the black elementals that drains them based off Vivid. So I ended up getting 2 of those, and they were actually quite good for me. There were 3/5 menace creatures as well. So I feel like I'm getting there, and then he kind of stabilizes. But I'm pretty sure I had lethal on attack, but I just top deck a Tweeze and just bolted his face for the last 3 damages. So I can't believe that sprite wheel. That is actually just nuts. Oh, and this guy had the the bloom bearer, whatever, the bitter blossom, bitter bloom, whatever it is, the one that makes 1/1. So the guy just had a yoked deck, and he just, man. And I mean, I got him on a game, and then the last game was kind of the same story. I kept a 1-lander with my double mana rock, but like it curved out so good if I had second land. And I knew that it was right but wrong to keep. Like I feel like there's arguments for both sides. I think that ultimately this is a nice pickup with the explosive prodigy. And then the spray and mighty, I think, actually could have been really good in my deck, but we opted to just take the elemental card. Premium, 2-drop, uncommon. It's fine. And so, anyway, but that last game, so I ended up having double Tweeze in my hand and getting them down like, I needed like 2 more damage, and I would have had him on lethal. But that second turn, I didn't draw that second land. But then the third turn I did, and the fourth turn. So I kind of like, I stutter stepped my first turn, but then kind of got back on track, stabilized the game. But like, I really needed that to hit that second land drop to really just get ahead, because it didn't feel like I was ahead all game, because he just felt ahead. He was bouncing like my mana dork, and it just kind of wrecked me. But I was able to kind of stabilize, but I was just in 2. He turned 2 bitter bloom, bitter blossom, the flyer bitter blossom. But so like he was also kind of taking damage. So I had like a pseudo burn plan in play. I just needed him to take like 2 or 3 more damage, and then I would have been able to cheese him out with the double Tweeze. So this is the Shimmer Creep of what I was talking about earlier. Another elemental, a Giant's Fall, but I think I want this other elemental payoff. So yeah, this was a really good pack. Really good pack. I think we just take the Shimmer Creep. The Rhyme Speaker is good, but I already do have 1. And I like the idea of just opening up more lanes for Vivid as well. My fixing wasn't great by any means for this draft, but it's hard because there's not like real dual lands. There's shock lands in the rare slot, and then there's those kindred lands and uncommon, but they are uncommon. And then also there is Evolving Wilds. So it's hard to get like mana right, but if like you're base green other stuff, like it's kind of nice, but I was not base green. So kind of there was just some complex deciding what color mana I'd play and things like that. So it was difficult, but I will say I didn't feel very much another Shimmer Creep, so that's 2 of them now. I will say that like I drew my lands really well. Yeah, outside that, keeping the one lander on like the final boss game, which was rough. But it was nice being able to cast your spells. Summit Sentinel is really nice 2-drop for us. It does a really good job gumming up the board, and they don't really want to play their combat tricks or anything into it just because they don't want me having that card. But yeah. So I ended up going 2-1. I think it was a 3-0 deck. Like, I had the stuff to get there. But, like, honestly, that was such a synergistic pile of gas that last opponent had. And he had a bye on his first round. So that was a bummer. But, yeah. Nice Tweeze here. Tweeze, I was already high on the card. I'm even higher after playing for this night. This is Grub, the flipping goblin. It basically blights something and you get some payoff for it, whatever have you. Easy Tweeze though. Notorious Auntie. Yeah, pretty easy Tweeze there. Yeah, Tweeze, it just overperformed for me, like, big time. It's already a good card, I felt, but, it just felt good when you're trying to, fix your hand and, remove something. And it removes a little bit more than you would think. Beat the Flames is fine, but I think I need to take a 2-drop here, which it does help Vivid, giving me white and red instead of just red. Picked a 2-drop. There you go. Another Tweeze in this late. Seems really good. Well, I think I almost was waffling around getting that Tree Folk. I think that Tree Folk, that 2/5 Tree Folk comes in with the -1/-1 counter, and you can tap 2, remove the counter. Ooh, we get a Squawk Roaster. Give that flying with my aura, +2/+2 flying. Oof, gross. But yeah. So we have some cool things going on, like with my Kith Keeper and then the Creepers as well. So, we have those kinds of things. So we have the top end and ways to go over the top on our opponents, and we kind of have a pseudo burn strategy with 2 of the Creepers and then 2 Tweezes. That's a lot of damage. That's almost, just saying that out loud, it's 12 damage of just potential draining, and it could be more with the Creepers. But this was a fun draft. This was, the games were fun as well. I do appreciate you guys. I will do a better job on filming, getting the actual recordings, to be less focused, and I'll get them back in line to be back to focus and where we want to be. But once again, if you guys like what we do here, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate any of the feedback, but more importantly, I just appreciate you guys hanging out. So here we will have, as we finish this draft out, we have our deck list that's about to come up here. And then, like I said, if you guys like what we do here, please like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, any way to, gas the name that we're trying to provide here with MTG Flux, please put that out there. But I'll catch you guys in the next video.